YouTube, and welcome back to the NRSL Hooters Series. And we're here in Atlanta for round number 2, the Kia Motors 250. And on the pole today will be Preston Plord looking for I guess a rebound. I don't know. He'll start alongside Mary Shelley, who definitely looking for a rebound after Daytona. Jerry Shelley and Ace Rogers will make up row number 2. PJ Williams and James Qualls row 3, with Hunter Braxton, the Daytona winner, will start alongside Tom Pollard in row 4. And Max Anderson will start alongside Kyle Matthews in row number 5. Kyle a little bit sore after yesterday's race, but he's in the car once again, looking for better things today than he had yesterday. Here's the rest of the starting grid. The points basically just like what they were at Daytona. Hunter Braxton is the points leader over Zachary Fitzwater, Kev Shear, PJ Williams, and Jessica Shelton, who was the top 5 at Daytona. Johnny Gardner, Becky Lynch, Chris Louvier, Enzo Nareza, Muhammad Zain Abdullah make up the top 10, Abdullah being the only driver in the top 10 points that did not have a top 10 finish at Daytona. Basically, if you were one of the people who didn't run very well, probably your thinking is the real season starts here, and that's usually common thinking. Others just going to try and build off the success and keep it going here. I don't know. We'll see. Here comes the command.
Drivers, start your engines.
Command has been given. We'll have 8 onboard cameras for this race as field goes by. We'll start with the Dodge onboard of Hunter Braxton. Zachary Fitzwater will carry the Ford onboard camera. Kev Shear, the Coast Guard onboard camera. PJ Williams, Discount Tire onboard. Chris Louvier, the Navy onboard camera. Paul Swanson, the Toyota onboard camera. Jessica Shelton, the Chevy onboard camera. And finally, Johnny Gardner carrying the Supercuts onboard camera today. We saw a couple cautions in the truck race last night. Will we see much of the same today, or will this one be calmer? Pace car pulls off, field under control. The pair of Chevys on the front row, Preston Plord, Mary Shelley, and we are green for the Kia Motors 250. You kind of can see the skid marks on the front straightaway from practice incidents. So Jerry Shelley already going to make the move inside for second, the RVs.com Chevy. As we had sudden frame drop there, not quite sure why. Either way, it's going to be just like yesterday again. Pole sitter is not going to lead lap 1 as Jerry Shelley takes the lead. Here comes PJ Williams inside, and it'll be Jerry Shelley collecting the 5 bonus points. He leads lap 1. PJ Williams quickly makes the move inside for second, or for the lead I should say. Tom Pollard making the move for second. And Kyle Matthews is going to kind of follow him underneath, and we got Pack Racing at Atlanta. The AutoZone Chevy to the race lead. PJ Williams will not lead the lap. Instead, it will be the 21 of Tom Pollard as they're 3 wide for the lead. This is definitely not the situation Tom Pollard would have liked to have been in, as PJ Williams now up to the outside line. Here comes Henry Williams, no affiliation there. 3 wide again for the race lead, as the 12 of Zach Flickinger makes that move. He will lead the lap. Stephen Pollard the third now goes for the race lead. As long as they don't go 4 wide, they should be fine. Now here comes Alexander Rowe, car 99 to the race lead, and very quickly RJ Reynolds makes the move for the race lead. 3 wide once again. This is going to end badly. You know it for... If you are experienced enough, you know it's not going to end well right now when they're racing like this. Zachary Fitzwater now wants a piece of the lead. And the defending Cup Series champion, Chris Washer, going to make that move as well down the back straightaway. Kev Shear, no, and he's going to go for the race lead as well. 3 wide yet again. There we go. There's the 4 wide. Contact. Henry Williams rubbing doors. 4 wide down the front straightaway. They are surviving for now. More contact into 1, and Kyle Matthews up in air. Oh my. Time Pollard was involved. Subsequent wrecks as well. We'll get to that in a moment. Meanwhile, they're racing back to the line, and it will be Jessica Shelton who will lead us underneath the caution, with Alex May, the defending champion, in second. Oh no, Chris Washer and Alex May! Oh my! And more chaos. And now we got people that are going to plow into this. Oh boy. Slow down, guys. Slow down. Kyle Matthews drove away. Alexander Rowe, Johnny Gardner, Sheila Shear, Charles Sanford, Oriole Pollard. As Jessica Shelton now comes down pit lane, some drivers are staying out. We'll cover pit stops and then look back at what happened. Looks like it's going to be fuel only again, so we're going to have to watch and be careful of cars entering the pits. Alex May is out. He has already taken his car behind the wall. Stephen Paul the third. There's the 5. That's Henry Williams there. Jerry Shelley's going to pull out of his pits, going to lose a spot. Shelton, Williams, Stephen Paul the third, Jerry Shelley, and Zach Flickinger, top 5 off pit lane. And about 7 drivers did not pit. Let's go ahead and take a look at what happened. And we're back. Apparently they were 4 wide back here with the Daytona winner, Hunter Braxton, as well. PJ Williams in there. The 01 car, Sam Young. And that's going to be where the contact starts. Samet Ozkan gets turned. Ace Rogers is in it. Holy moly, the 24. And then there's going to be another wreck. Samet Ozkan gets turned by Preston Plord. Johnny Gardner, Amanda Shelley involved on that one. Max Anderson gets collected as well. There was another spin, almost looks like. PJ Williams gets another piece of it. There was another spin. Was it Preston Plord? No. Alexander Rowe getting turned by RJ Reynolds. Okay, so this was the 4 wide that I was worried about. I went back to try and find the other wreck, and then they wrecked again up here. Zachary Fitzwater also involved. And that's, you see the black smoke there, that's day over for Alexander Rowe as well. And Rowe's going to slide down the track. He's going to get hit by Oriole Pollard. Hits the 48. There's Charles Sanford getting involved. Sheila Shear nowhere to go. So back-to-back bad runs for the 17 crew. 41 is going to try and sneak its way through. Paul Swanson gets turned around. But not a whole lot of damage there. The 8, that's Bafode Sacco is involved. And then under the caution, I'm trying to find where that was at. I'm trying to remember. Who was it? Oh yeah. So Enzo Nareza ends up making contact with Chris Washer, sends him up into Alex May, and May just makes hard contact with the wall there. And he even goes into the catch fence as well. Holy. Catch fence, though, doing its job, keeping the cars on the racetrack, and I don't recall a time where we saw this much reliance on that catch fence. in a race on this channel at any point. As Chris Washington comes down the track, he's getting hit by the 18. Hunter Braxton, the Daytona winner, gets involved. Chris Louvier, Aldra Baranowskis, William Flickinger, Zachary Fitzwater gets another piece. Dylan Young might got a piece of it as well. That's Jack James in the 18. Holy moly. Going to take a few onboards here that I can think of and see, as I think that was Tim Randolph, the 06, that collides with the 38. Okay. Yeah, we're going to take a couple onboards here and get back to racing, and we'll see how many people we even have left. We're going to start on board Paul Swanson. On board Johnny Gardner. And finally, a full lap around with the 42. And we are back just in time for the restart. Alex May, Enzo Nereza, Tim Randolph, Bafode Sacco, Sheila Shear, Alexander Rowe, Oriel Pollard, and Charles Sanford, the list of retirees. Johnny Gardner was one lap down. You saw him there on the inside line just ever so briefly. And still going to be holding up some people there. You see him right there. That's how far off the pace that 22 car is. Finally gets past... gets put into the middle at least, so that's going to help clear some way there. Meanwhile, at the lead, Becky Lynch leads the lap. James Qualls going for the lead. Kev Shear back to third. Hopefully we can make a few laps now, I guess. This probably will help seal what ends up happening for the race. Sky Commons right now runs 4th. Jonathan Zorline 5th. Henry Williams 6th. Dylan Young is currently in 7th, but for how long, don't know. He's going to be falling back. Zach Flickinger now is going to grab that 7th spot away. Moves Dylan Young back to 8th. Sam Young's going for 9th. Zachary Fitzwater currently runs in 10th, but again, damaged and off the pace. Jessica Shelton now grabs a spot back inside the top 10. Becky Lynch now back inside of Kev Shear for the 2nd position. And time to look at the back. Chris Washer off the pace, Gardner off the pace, PJ Williams, RJ Reynolds, Samet Ozkan, Ace Rogers, Time Pollard, Paul Swanson off the pace, Kyle Matthews, amazingly that car is even just running. William Flickinger off the pace, Hunter Braxton's just riding around now, Preston Plord. Amanda Shelley looks to be in a pack, but damaged. We'll have to see that. Zachary Fitzwater is off the pace, so we'll have to follow and see what happens to him. And obviously Dylan Young also off the pace. So that's basically the list right now. Right now it's just a 3-car battle for the race lead, though, as Becky Lynch, Kev Shear, and James Qualls continue to battle it out. The Morgan McClure, the Morgan McClure 0 and the 2 Roush cars, as right now the Roush cars battle for 2nd. James Qualls back inside of Kev Shear for the 2nd position. And this is going to help Henry Williams start to catch up a little bit. As he's starting to catch him a little bit. He's not in the same picture yet, but he's starting to. Now there you see him right there, just barely in the picture frame as they came down the back straightaway. And Zach Flickinger also going to be a contender in this. Jonathan Zorline looks to be as well. Maybe some slight damage to the 25 going to impact his race. James Qualls now starting to reel back in that hefty Chevrolet of Becky Lynch. Down the back straightaway they go. You see Henry Williams starting to get bigger in that camera frame there. Starting to get closer. I almost thought the caution was out as Chris Washer was just coming off turn number 4. Leaders should catch him on the next lap. How about next corner? That's going to hold up the leaders. Becky Lynch gets affected by this. James Qualls is going to go to the race lead. And Lynch is still held up behind the 91. Now is going to lose the 3rd spot. Even going to lose 4th now as the 91 still holding up the 0. Johnny Gardner will be the next one. Currently in the 34th position. Last car running. And he's going to block James Qualls. So back-to-back laps. Now this time Zach Flickinger goes to the outside, but that's not going to be a good idea. As here comes the 89. Now the 12 is going to lose some spots. And again, the 0 gets affected by lap traffic. As the 12 and the 0 lose spots because of the 22. Now Henry Williams going for second as PJ Williams will be the next one. Henry Williams now goes to second, car number 5. Here comes Stephen Pollard III in the 89. And remember, Jessica Shelton and the 89 both pit. They didn't pit for tires, but they have more fuel on board than I think any of these cars in the top 3. Henry Williams might have pit. I don't remember. But the 26 and the 16 did not. I definitely know that one for a fact. Actually, now that I think about the 5 might have pit as well. Which would have explained why he was far enough back like that. So, Henry Williams now to the race lead. Kev Shear goes to second. Stephen Pollard III on that outside line is going to be under threat now for the 4th spot from Jessica Shelton. Looks like the 89 got the run off the corner. And we'll be able to get inside of the 26 now as PJ Williams is just coming off turn number 2. I fully expect one of the next cautions to be because someone wrecks one of the slower cars. That's basically what I fully anticipate. Stephen Pollard III now going for second, looking for a rebound effort after 37th place finish at Daytona. Top 5 certainly would help. As there's PJ Williams. Okay, I didn't expect him to be caught that quickly. He's going to hold up the 16 and the 26. Nearly contact with the 26 and the 7. Mary Shelley does a great job to not turn the 26 of James Qualls. Meanwhile, the 6 holds up the 16, 7, and the 33. William Brock now going for, I believe that is the 3rd position as Stephen Pollard III battles for the race lead. Next lap car pretty far away. It's Samet Ozkan. Actually, I believe the next lap car is probably going to end up being the 59 because I think the 15 will be able to pass him. As Henry Williams now goes for the race lead. No caution yet. Crossover now for the 5 here as here comes William Brock in car number 1. So far, it's been rookies dominating everything this season. They've won the first 2 truck races. A rookie won Daytona here. The only thing they haven't been able to win was some of the Daytona Cup races. And even then, a rookie won one of the duels. As William Brock now goes to second. James Qualls going to try and get the draft on the 1 and follow him past the 89 car. And will do so as here comes Sam Young, the guy who couldn't really buy a top 5 finish last season. Got one at the last race of the year and trying to get a turnaround after Daytona. It was 24th for him. Well, now he's into 6th. So Jessica Shelton back to 7th, Isaac Flickinger 8th, Becky Lynch 9th, and Aldra Baranowskis in the top 10 now in the 20. As Johnny Gardner is going to be the next one they catch. That'll be to put him 3 laps down. really high line there for the 2. And no one pit. It made me think someone was going to pit, though. As William Brock now goes for the race lead. They should be catching Johnny Gardner shortly. It's going to be a matter of when, not if. Qualls goes to the inside of the 5 now. Sam Young going for a spot inside the top 5. He's got it. Moves Sam Young to 5th. Brock to the lead. Here comes James Qualls. There's Johnny Gardner. Who's he going to block? It's going to be Qualls. As Chris Washer was just in front of Brock now as well. Brock's going to have to go low. He gets affected at least a little bit. And that's going to help James Qualls because now he's able to get to the inside of the 91. And so Chris Washer will not affect the lead battle this time around. Under 5 laps to go. Samet Ozkan would still be the next lap car that they would catch. That one might be a matter of if. As now James Qualls tries to catch the one of William Brock. Jessica Shelton battling with Becky Lynch for 5th spot right now. Jessica Shelton right now the only one of the top 5 cars that I can see that actually finished top 5 at Daytona. So looking to possibly take the points lead there, especially with the issues for Braxton today. Top 4 are single file right now though. Stephen Paul III now, just as I say it, makes the move for 2nd. Tires you can see are starting to wear a little bit. Because that inside line, just like last night, starting to become less effective. Sam Young now pushing the 89 past the 26. Becky Lynch loses a spot to the 7 of Mary Shelley. As Samet Ozkan was just coming out of the pit lane. Wow, Hunter Braxton is still in the top 10. Wow, that was close. As Mary Shelley now makes a move on the 2. Everyone was really high. That's because there are pit stops for some of the lat cars. I don't know for what reason, but oh well. White flag is out for William Brock though. Can Stephen Paul III make a move on the 1? Into turn number 3. James Qualls is going to have to pit. The 26 has to pit, come into the checkered, but it's William Brock who wins. And Stephen Paul III comes up 2nd, Sam Young 3rd. So James Qualls pits coming to the checkered flag. He will cross the line in 20th. And that is it. William Brock is your winner today. Rest of the top 10, Stephen Paul III, Sam Young, Mary Shelley, Jessica Shelton, Becky Lynch, Max Anderson, Hunter Braxton, Jerry Shelley, Muhammad Zain Abdullah. I think Braxton might actually retain the points lead. I think it'll be Braxton and then Shelton, the top 2 in points leaving Atlanta here. As William Brock wins the Kia Motors 250. A very chaotic race here today. As Johnny Gardner ends up 3 laps down as a result of being so far off the pace. There you see the bottom though. Charles Sanford, the last place finisher today. Sheila Shear, who came in 42nd in points, only gets a 39th. So back-to-back bad runs for her start of the season. So let's see if she can rebound at Bristol. Either way, congrats to William Brock. I'd like to thank you for watching. Subscribe if you haven't today. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Like I said, congrats to William Brock, and I'll see you next time.